Stokley Carmicheal.
And black voting. Long ago in the 1960s, there was segregation between blacks and whites in the United States. Blacks did not have the same privileges as others in the U.S. One responsibility that blacks had a hard time with was voting. There were many civil rights activists working to make voting easier. One activist named Stokley Carmicheal felt that black votes were important. In the mid-1960s, he held speeches and protests to raise awareness to this issue. With him and many others working hard, eventually they encouraged more blacks to vote. Future generations were able to benefit from this increase of using the right to vote. It was made easier for them through this era.
We've been saying freedom for 6 years and we ain't got nothing. What we gotta start saying now is black power.
The background or time before.
Back in 1865, there was a lot of bad slavery where black people had to work for food, and if they did not, they would get whipped.
A lot of people were treated very, very unequally and harshly, and
It was bad. It never stopped until people like Harriet Tubman and Abraham Lincoln came in to stop it. Harriet Tubman was an operator of the Underground Railroad, and Abraham Lincoln was the president who officially stopped slavery. But even after slavery ended, blacks and whites were still not treated equally. It was called segregation, which was horrible in many ways. Basic things like using the bathroom in a restaurant were not allowed for blacks.
black kids could not go to school, blacks couldn't swim, they couldn't go to restaurants, and sometimes they couldn't even go to the store to buy food.
After slavery ended, segregation started in the 50s and 60s. When it started, they got separated. The Jim Crow laws made it worse, but a man stood up, making speeches. His name was Stokley Carmicheal. He wanted to make black voting happen.
In 1965, Stokley Carmicheal went to Lowndes County, Alabama to help increase the number of registered black voters from 70 registered voters to 2,600 registered voters. In Lowndes County, the majority of the population was African American, yet they held no positions in government. Within a year, Carmicheal successfully challenged the segregation that had separated whites and blacks in many ways. In May 1966, he lost faith in nonviolent movements and was elected the fourth chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or the SNCC.
Stokley Carmicheal became the fourth chairman of the SNCC and the chairman of the Black Panthers, but left due to not agreeing with letting white radicals join in the Black Panthers and left the SNCC. Due to Carmicheal, and along with many SNCC staff members, left the convention with a profound sense of disillusionment in the American political system and what he later called totalitarian liberal opinion.
After leaving America in 1969, he moved to Guinea and changed his name to Carmicheal to honor his patrons Kwame Nkrumah and Stokley Carmicheal also knew Martin Luther King Jr. They worked together to protest the Vietnam War. Carmicheal also saw organized social of his assassination. In his own words, when white America killed off the King, it declared war on us. He got assassinated by James Earl Ray on April 4th, 1968. He was only 49. After this, Carmicheal wanted revenge on James Earl.
Stokley Carmicheal died in Guinea on November 15, 1998. He died of prostate cancer. He was only 57.
And thanks to the help of Stokley Carmicheal and many other activists, blacks were now treated the same as whites. They could now enter any school, any store, any swimming